We have our live pregame show where we're going to just hang out, chill, talk about some of the things we can expect to see, hope not to see in this game tonight as the Chicago Bulls face the Washington Wizards. We're going to get into that, but first, got to play that intro.
You are now tuned in to Chicago Bulls Central, your number one place for all Chicago Bulls news and content.
Listen, I'm gonna talk a little shit. I love our fucking intro, but the Bulls face the Warriors tonight. No, not the Warriors, the Wizards tonight. And this game is going to be an interesting one to see how much of what they did well carries over game to game. Right? We saw that first quarter specifically from the Chicago Bulls, in which they very much defaulted to some of the things that they did last season that just didn't work. Now, they were able to make adjustments. They went back. They got back to doing some really good things. Vooch got back to playing much better. Vooch and Coby had much better second halves than first halves. But I want to see if this is going to be a story, right? Are we always going to get off to these slow starts? Can we fix that? Can we adjust to that? Can we always play with that player movement off the ball? If we can continue that, we're going to always find success. And then, like I said today in my my pre-recorded video, is that I really am looking forward to seeing what Patrick Williams does on the defensive end against a Kyle Kuzma, because, listen, I don't know about Pat Will's offense, right? I'm not ready. He's not as aggressive, but one thing that Patrick Williams did do, especially in his rookie season, is that he went after people defensively. I need to see that from him for sure in this game. If we can get Patrick Williams to win that defensive matchup against Kyle Kuzma, make things difficult for him, I trust Ayo, Caruso, and Javonte to guard Bradley Beal. Like, are they going to stop him completely? No. But I do trust them to guard him. Say my name in the building. He says, I call dibs on that hat. It's fire. Thank you, bro. Thank you. Weird colorway, but when I saw it, I had to get it. Just because it's different. Bradley Beal's going to have a tough time tonight having to deal with Alex Caruso and Ayo. That's going to be tough. Yeah. It's going to be like, but the thing is, like, he's probably still going to get his points. It's just he's probably not going to score them efficiently, which I'll take. That's what I like. Forcing the other team to be inefficient on the offensive end of the ball is enough for me. Well, we have to execute on the offensive side of the ball ourselves. And I think I trust our ability to kick it up defensively more than I trust the Washington Wizards to do so. The Bulls in the building, he says, hey, Haize, do you think we should start questioning our medical staff? We have so many issues, post-surgery. No, because that has nothing to do with them. So I think there's this misconception on what the Bulls medical staff does, right? They're not surgeons. They don't even handle the rehab. The Bulls medical staff only evaluates. They don't tell a player, or like a player goes to their independent doctor to go through rehab. Now, the medical staff can monitor him to make sure that they're doing the same type of workouts that the private doctors have suggested to the players. But I think sometimes as fans, we put too much on we think the medical staff does more than what they do. They're there for evaluation. They aren't there for treatment. Everything that they notice, right? That's why you always hear like, oh, it's feared to be a strained MCL, but then they have to send them to a doctor. Our medical team is not what I think some people think that it does. And keep in mind, the injuries that we've had, like Lonzo's injury, he's hurt that meniscus before, pre-existing. Zach LaVine's injury, he tore that ACL before he came to Chicago. What he's going on with his knee in the situation that he had this summer is indicative of somebody who's a few years removed from ACL surgery. So no, again, it's not like Tanaka's still here, right, where he was just terrible and almost killed Luol Deng. But that's my thought. That's my thought. Cap says, thankfully, Zach's going to be back next game. Let's listen. At this point, if you can tell, like even in I talked about it in my video today, I really don't. We're going to take a wait and see approach. Because just because he's back, I need to see actual Zach back. MC Season in the building says, what's good, Haize? How you feel if Pat has a great defensive game but another poor offensive game? Listen, I just need to see him stand up and do something, right? That's fine. I don't need to see a complete game from Pat. I would love to see it, don't get me wrong. And if he plays one, it's going to up the Bulls like to a different level. But at this point, I just want to see Patrick Williams own his defensive assignment. Let's start there. And like I said before, too, go after offensive rebounds hard, take it back up. If he can do those things and slash a little bit more, I'm happy, right? The results, we'll deal with the results. I need to see the aggression first. We can fine tune and get better results, but let's get the aggression there first. And I think that starts today on the defensive end for Patrick Williams. At least I hope that it does. I think that Pat needs to work on being consistent on the defensive side. He needs to work on being aggressive with cutting and taking advantage of the fast-paced play. Marquis, absolutely. Absolutely. I swear I didn't even read your comment before I just said that. Absolutely. You hit the nail on the head. I think people see the word medical and assume there's some in-depth doctors. Agreed. And I mean, it's understandable that you would think that, because when I was younger too, I used to think like, oh, the Bulls medical staff, they must be the same people that did that Derrick Rose's surgery. And it's not that. It's just, that's not what it's there for. So we'll see. Good luck, you guys, with the Denny defense. Get out of here with that. It just wouldn't be right if the Bulls stay healthy. Well, I mean, listen, let's put some faith in it. We need our team healthy by the playoffs for sure. Rick Fernandez says, let's get the fucking likes up. Marquise Williams says, your intros. I had to go back to the top. I realized I missed some shit. Coby in the building. I figured it was you, because who else is going to spell it like that? You think DT gets some time tonight? I don't know. I really do think that Billy Donovan may have this rotation set. Now, it depends. If the Bulls get out to a lead and maintain the lead and the game's all but decided in the fourth quarter, yeah, I think we see DT for sure. But if it's a close game like it was against the Miami Heat, I don't know if we see him in those type of games. Shay, I was talking to the Cognac boys, and they kind of agree with me that Patrick Williams needs to get into the pick and roll a little bit more for him to be more aggressive on the offensive end. Listen, I don't like pick and roll helps, but I wouldn't even necessarily say that. I like they do need to run him some, and you saw like what Billy Donovan did when he brought Javonte Green off the bench first and Patrick Williams sat down. I hope that meant that when Patrick Williams got back in, he'd kind of do a lot of the ball handling on that second unit. But listen, Goran is legit, brother. Goran is legit. Marquis says Denny is trash, bro. That, listen, is funny. Jay Capone. Don says, what up, Haize? Your fellow plug got the loud for you. Let's get it. Go Bulls. Inside joke. Is Benny the Bull making the backwards half-court shot from the fourth time in a row and making it 4-4-4? A 4-4-4? Nick Tolliver. I think P. Will excelling on defense is really what I'm looking for at this point. I understand he isn't being aggressive right now, but he isn't. But if he isn't, he at least needs to keep doing his thing on defense. Yeah, that's it, right? Like, I get it, right? I understand. Like I said, it's not often that fourth overall picks only average 7 shots a game for their career. It's just not. It's not. Even if they're aggressive or not, usually the coach just plays through them. But the thing that he does control, that's completely in his control. The shots aren't always in his control. He can be more aggressive. They are to a degree, but it's not completely in your control if the offense doesn't run plays for you. The thing that you control, the thing that Patrick Williams controls every single time he's out there on the court is the effort he gives on the defensive end and his ability to move without the ball, attack loose balls, and rebounds. Those are things that have gotten players paid for years and years and years alone. If he can do those things consistently, he's going to have a 12-year career alone off doing that. But if he brings that offensive edge that we've seen him do at times, if he can refine that and actually make that a part of his game that you can bet on, the sky's the limit for Patrick Williams if that happens. But it's so big of an if right now. Teresa, a lot of people say that, but he really doesn't. He really doesn't play. I think like sometimes we've now cooked ourselves into thinking that he does. Look at Patrick Williams off the ball. In the starting lineup off the bench numbers. They were terrible. Last season, him off the bench was terrible. Now he started most of his rookie season, so we don't have a lot to do. He doesn't play better with the second unit. He really doesn't. He plays better when things go through him. And one of the games that we saw that the most in was the Minnesota game when a lot of our starters just didn't play. But Patrick Williams doesn't play considerably different with the second unit. He hasn't up to this point. Does he need to? Yes. Is that an avenue to find his groove offensively and to get him out of his head? Absolutely. But it still goes down to him figuring it out for himself. He has to figure it out. When I do my Pat the Designer long dramatic pause. I'm so glad we beat the Heat. My uncle was a Heat fan. I was going through hell last season because I was talking so much shit the first half of the season. Hey, man, it has a way of humbling us. Definitely has a way of humbling us. Marquise again says, I know we keep talking about Pat's defense, but it will improve our team's defense overall this season. We need it for his development and for the playoffs. He will get paid. Oh, the Bulls are paying him. Now, how much that is, we'll see. But the Bulls are definitely paying him. Like I've been telling, I told you guys last season, right? The Bulls were not trading Coby White for whatever it was, better or worse. Not that I necessarily agree with it. They weren't doing it. When I tell you that Patrick Williams is going to get a second contract, everybody is like, oh, he's a bust now. He's a bust now. Y'all sit down, hold tight. It's going to be a long few years for y'all because Patrick Williams is going to be here for a while. He's going to be here for a while. At his age, the way that this front office believes in him, and I do think, I will say this, I do think, honestly, that there is some stubbornness with this front office of saying, hey, this was our first draft pick here. He has to work out. But let's not act like Patrick Williams has played one full season in 18 games. A full season in 18 games. The people trying to write Patrick Williams off as a bust with that is a small sample size. We've seen players literally completely learn how to shoot and come in not knowing how to shoot in the NBA. Let's stop writing it off as a bust when he's played one season and 18 games. That's it. That's it. Like, we are so knee-jerky ass fans sometimes. One season and 18 games. Just chill out a little bit. Just chill out a little bit. We definitely have a stronger starting five, even without Lonzo, LaVine, and Lonzo. Oh, for sure, for sure. Well, and especially if you guys watch my video today, I talked about like Io really assuming that offensive load that we didn't have because LaVine wasn't out there. He did great, and there was a little timidness at first, but we saw once he got into the groove and started hitting shots, we saw him put the ball on the floor, get to the cup, get to the rim, get to the free throw line. I've always said this, like we barely last season got to see the surface of the offensive game Io flashed in Illinois. And I honestly think he's shown even a greater defensive ability than I thought seeing him in Illinois. Right now, those Drew Holiday comparisons for Io DeSumo are all in line. We just have to see if it's going to be a consistent part and something we can bet on night in and night out. And if it can be, it's going to be great. Smear 60 Haize, you know they sell Marko Simonovic jerseys at the UC. Does Billy Donovan know that they do that? Dimitri, no, that's stupid. No. Brian the Trier, you were just here 2 nights ago, brother. What you mean you haven't been here in a minute? What's going on, fam? Here we go, Marvin. You know Marvin. Hold on. You know Marvin's about to motivate. Hold on, let me prepare my soul and my body to read this comment. Okay, guys. No letdown. Keys to the game. Keep Washington off the offensive glass, meaning Gafford and Kuzma. Player and ball movement from both starters and bench players playing hard for 48 minutes. Great words, great strategy, all on point for Marvin the Motivator. That's my dude there. Is it safe to say all Chicago native basketball players have a tough mindset as soon as they come into the NBA? I've never met one weak-minded Chicago player. I mean, Chicago players have that edge to them, man. It's just, it is what it is. You always know a Chicago player, right? I agree with that. Io that dude. Sure. I swear, people like this, where have I said DeMar has to be the second option? Even when I talk about Zach LaVine, I say that 1A, 1B at best. And I've said for the people who think that DeMar averaged less than a full shot per game, more than LaVine before LaVine got hurt. Who said anything about DeMar being a second? Like, I get it. We all listen to and see a lot of Chicago Bulls channels. And I know a lot of them's covered by black people. We don't all look alike. I ain't never said nothing about DeMar being the second option. Never. You can go back through I've dropped over 600 episodes in the 13 months this channel's been around. You ain't never heard me say that. Come on, man. We don't all look alike, bro. We don't all look alike, man. I'm not Big Dave. Maddie in the building, super chat. $4.99. Thank you for supporting the channel at that level, my brother. Imperfect Kingdoms in the building. Eddie Curry. What? I don't know where Eddie Curry came from, bro. I don't know. So I was you a dickhead, bro. We should run the offense through Vooch tonight and let the game be inside out. Tell me what you think. Getting my legs. You an asshole. I don't even know why. I should have proofread that as soon as I saw what you started off with. You a dickhead, bro. If you play ball in Chicago, not AAU, you getting fouled hard all game long growing up. I'm with you about P. Will, but if he has the same lack of aggressive mindset throughout this season, when Zach is out, I'm done. Like Stacey and Kendall said, it's time to show the hell up. I mean, listen, you can be done, right? We can be done. I can be done. Jesus can be done with Patrick Williams. Jesus, Levante Christ himself, can walk into the UC in Matt Peck sandals and look AK directly in his face and say, AK, I need you to go ahead and cut Patrick Williams. And AK will look at him and say, my precious. And he's not cutting Patrick Williams. We can be done all day. Until AK and Eversley are done, we can be done. Us being done don't matter. It don't matter. The only soft Chicago player, LOL joke. Oh, the Eddie Curry shit. Sweaty, hey, chill. Don't wait. What happened? Oh, you gotta. Sweaty bloke is like, he's definitely an incel. You just gotta let him cook sometimes. Like he'll work it out. It's okay. The medical staff is made of sports medicine doctors and need opinions from real doctors, but you do have to question the decisions that the Bulls make regarding the players' and decisions players make. Well, it's still not that. Like the doctors are still the ones setting the rehab. Like I said, the medical staff really in the long term, they can suggest, they can talk, they can work with the real doctors, but it still goes back to what the actual doctors are giving the players that they want to do. It's not all on them, right? Now you can say too, okay, maybe you're gonna need to see better doctors. But again, even Zach's thing's not chronic, right? Lonzo's thing, weird. It's weird. It's weird. But hopefully, if it's that cartilage thing, kind of is what it is, man. Last time Chicago played DC, we didn't have Pat Caruso and Green due to injuries. Now we do, not to mention Goran and Andre, and we handle MIA, so that's winnable. Let's make this 2-0. Well, keep in mind, this is the NBA. Anybody can lose to any team. I never do that. Oh, well, we can beat such and such, so we can beat XYZ, because it's the NBA. Anybody can win on any given night. But that's why you have to come in and execute, period. You have to come in and execute. Great question here. Who do you think should get more minutes, Dragic or Coby? At this point, Dragic. Like, Coby has way more off, like that fire, that ability to get hot and go, but it's not the same as like Goran's just out there. He's just like the way that he puts his angles. The thing is though, is I think if you run the risk of Goran shutting down, not completely, by playing him too many minutes. You can tell, right? Goran's out there. He's moving. He's being smart and intelligent with the way he moves with the ball. But you can see Goran gets winded out there. You can tell. So I like the way that they're doing. I like the balance that they're using it in as well. Worst Chicago player, Chicago Bulls player or player from Chicago? I'd have to look at a list of players from Chicago. If we're talking about Bulls, it got to be Cristiano Felicio, bro. Like, at least Eddie Curry averaged 20 and 10 at one point, a couple of times in this career. Felicio just was not a competent basketball player at all. Tony Bradley's close thereafter. Jesus, Levante Christ, and Matt Pet sandals. Yeah, Paul gonna be fine. He needs more time, in my opinion. Oh, man. What up, Haize? Zach is back tomorrow night. How do you think he'll impact the rotation? Well, I think we're going to see, we're still going to go 10 deep. I do think that you look at either Coby or Goran's minutes getting considerably cut. And I think that's probably going to be the biggest thing. I don't see them taking too many minutes from Javonte. So, yeah, I just think, like, yeah. I think it's going to be Goran or Coby is where a lot of those minutes are going to come from. Whole time Zach's smoking a cigar, waiting on Donovan, who think he taking the Bulls spot. Fresh knees, Zach. Hey, listen, bro. They playing the long game, bro. That's all it is. Brian the Tryhard, would you be surprised if Javonte Green started today? No, not at all. I would not be. Felicio the GOAT. What you mean, Haize? That's your first miss ever. Oh, man, listen, Felicio, bro. No. Come on, man. Sure wish we could have gotten Christian Woods for Pat. We wouldn't have. Christian Woods is a solid NBA player, but he's already shown he doesn't really play well with other bigs, which, he's not replacing Pat Will at that point in time. I just know he doesn't make you finals bound. Could his scoring and the fact that he's not a reluctant scorer pay off big? Those corner threes that, if you look at it, anybody who plays power forward for us gets about 3 open corner threes a game. Christian Wood would have hit those down easily, but I don't think that it makes you necessarily a finals contender. No, Brian Scalabrine is the GOAT. The White Mamba, listen, we never disrespect the White Mamba around here, bro. Whoa, why y'all getting testy? What happened? Wow. Hello, true. I was being sarcastic, but I wanted you to take. Oh, well, fair enough. I'm telling you, Haize, Bulls should pick up Carmelo for. I have a whole video on it. If they cut Tony, whenever 6 games into the season, they could cut Tony Bradley and sign a player at the veteran minimum without going into the luxury tax. Again, you have to know these things with the cheap ass ownership. But with that, little side note there. But with that being said, if they were to cut Tony Bradley and bring in Carmelo Anthony, I would love it every day. Every day. Not gonna lie, I feel bad for Pat Bev, bro. Not the Lakers. They deserve everything. Just Pat Bev. Listen, bro. Like watching that game, was last night's game? Like that was painful, bro. That was painful. It's just bad basketball, bro. Just bad basketball. Just bad basketball, bro. Like I said it before, man. I really said it before. Is that I was about to be petty. But should I be petty? I'm going to go ahead and be petty before I go. This generation's GOAT, mama's cheeks got clapped by one of his teammates. My GOAT's son clapped one of his teammates' wives. That separates everything right there. Separates everything. Lakers have way more than a rush. Oh, the Lakers got some. They got to, sometimes you got to burn everything the fuck down and rebuild, bro. Burn down the Staples. What is it called? The Crypto Arena now? That's fucking stupid ass name too. First of all, change it back to Staples. That's the first thing you need to do. And then burn the bitch down. Burn it down. Start all over. Listen, I don't know if you knew here, but Hairline James gets no love around these parts, bro. None. No love. Your mama's cheeks got clapped while you were on a playoff run by one of your teammates, and that teammate ended up being a crackhead. That's all I got to say with that. I'm done. That says it all. Like it's over with. Lakers have to trade LeBron and AD if they want to be good again. Just let the contracts run out, bro. I think they have their own first round pick this year again, or are they still? I can't remember. Oh, Delonte West, you already know. Like, come on, man. Like, you can't. Your mama cheeks got clapped by a crackhead. Yeah, he wasn't a crackhead at the time, but that's not how we gonna tell the story. 30 years from now, all anybody's going to be like, yeah, man, there used to be this dude named Delonte West. He was a crackhead. He was a crackhead when he was playing for the team. Yeah, he was a crackhead when he was playing for the team. But get this. Hold on. Listen. he smashed LeBron's mama. What? During the playoffs. What? Do y'all remember when somebody said something to LeBron? There was a fan that was giving him some shit and said Delonte West, and he got so offended. He was like, be respectful. And he acted like he was going to fight. Listen, I guarantee y'all right now LeBron can't fight. He's from Cleveland. He can't fight. He's from Akron at that. He can't fight. Daily Insomnia Podcast. Do you think Westbrook is done in the NBA? I never say never. I really never say never. It depends on if he gets into a situation. He has to realize too, Russ has to realize he's not Russ anymore. He's not Russ. You're Russell, bro. You're old man at this point for the NBA. You're Russell. You're Russell. We can't call you Russ no more. If he comes in the next team, he's like, no, call me Russell. Gets one of those old man half gray beards as well, just a little bit the stubble. He probably can't grow. He looks like a Ninja Turtle. I doubt he can grow facial hair. But once he embraces being Russell, I'll tell you what, the second half of the season will be a little bit different. That's why Bron left Cleveland the first time. Oh, man, listen, bro. That shit crazy. That shit crazy. Marvin motivating us again. Guys, let's concentrate on winning. I think Pat will find his groove, and when he does, it'll be a plus for the team. Let's just win our games now with Pat finding his groove. Absolutely, bro. Absolutely. I trust Pat's going to find it, bro. I trust he's going to find it. When Haize just be in a good mood, starts cooking niggas, I'll be weak as fuck. Just casual cooking and breakdown. Listen, bro. You can't tell me that if Russell Westbrook put on a Ninja Turtle costume with a shell on. Matter of fact, he don't even need a costume. Just put on a backpack that looks like a Ninja shell, a Ninja Turtle shell. Green face. It's over with. That's all he got to do for costumes. It's over with. It's over with. Oh man. I guarantee the first play is designed for Pat. You was thinking that? He was thinking that. Why is there so much hate for Bron? I mean, F him because he ain't a bull, but y'all really... I don't hate LeBron at all. I respect, especially what LeBron's done off the court. To me, it's not even like... It's much like with Drake, right? Drake is Drake. He's going to be a corny-ass person, whatever. But his fans put him in conversations that he never deserves to be in as far as actual hip-hop. Much like LeBron. Is he a GOAT of this generation? Yes, you can't deny that. But to try to measure him up with other players and just act like it's not even a conversation, that's what frustrates me. Like I said before, the moment LeBron actually embraces being bald, it may be over for the league. It may be he'll average 30, 10, and 5 that season. Bro, Bron is definitely corny as a motherfucker, bro. Definitely. Triple doubles in a half shell. Russell Power. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, bro. That shit's funny, bro. That shit's funny. Hey, listen, shout out to Russ. I will say this though. Russ kicked it in defensively for a couple of possessions. He did some shit that I was like, whoa, was that Russ? What just happened? I'm telling y'all. Oh, bro, he's always trying to like stop trying to fake like you know the songs. Is Miles Bridges done for the year? Oh, he may be done for the career. What you talking about? Keep in mind too, right? Keep this in mind that the NBA have not punished Miles Bridges yet because they by their bylaws they can't punish him until there's a a actual charge, until it like goes to a certain level in the legal system. So keep in mind, even if he were to try to sign with the team, the moment that there's any movement on that case, they're going to suspend his ass. That's why there's no teams that are trying. There's some teams that would absolutely sign Miles Bridges right now because they don't give a damn about what he did. They care about basketball. But they're not going to. The reason why you're seeing the mass move away from that is, yes, the publicity, all that type of thing. But there's a suspension absolutely coming from the NBA. It's absolutely coming. Vern in the building says, how far do you think we can actually go this season? Because we're more deep in about just every position other than power forward. Bro, like, I got to see, like, you guys know me by now. I really try not to make those knee jerk. Like, even me saying today on today's episode that Ayo Dosunmu could win most improved player of the year, you had to know how long I was sitting with that before I decided to go. Like, I don't like to make judgments off a couple of games. I will say this. Ask me that again Saturday's game next week. Ask me that then, because at that point we'd be 7 games into the season. I can't remember, but ask me that then. 6 games into the season will be by then. Ask me that then. I'll have a better way of looking at it, especially considering who we play. Next Monday, we play the Boston Celtics. That's going to be wild, bro. That's going to be wild. No, no. Yeah, no. You can't. I don't want none of that shit from around my team. I don't want none of that. No. Yeah, no. I'm good on Miles Bridges. He said I faded from shock and missed out. Haize live. So Gary, my skill set is not live calling. I'm not the play-by-play type thing at all. That's not me. Maybe if I ever go to Chicago again and actually kicking with Pat in person, I may do something like that with Pat and do some color commentary. I'm just going to be talking shit. But that's just, I know my skill set. That's not my skill set. Like, I'm not the live call type. Do you think we have I think with the way that let me read the whole question. No Limit Keith, do you think we have a good chance of beating the Celtics? I think we have a chance. I'm not willing to say how good that chance is yet. But I think in the way that we've played, and we got to see how Zach is, because Zach's not going to miss that Celtics game. If you miss that Celtics game, something's wrong. But I want to see how this team looks with Zach. I want to see if the off the ball movement and everything and the defensive intensity that they're able to kick it with, if that stays a thing, absolutely we can. We have a chance, but I'm not willing to put a percentage chance on that quite yet. But all right, y'all. I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna shut it down. Thank you so much for tuning in to the pregame show. I'm pretty sure I'm not gonna be able to do a halftime hangout. If I do, hit the notification bell. Otherwise, I will be back post game. That's happening for sure. Just not sure about the halftime hangout quite yet. But either way, make sure you're following the show at Bull Central Pod. Send us any feedback, questions, comments, concerns, bullcentralpod@gmail.com. Lastly, text voicemail for tomorrow's mailbag episode, 773-270-2799. We're the number one spot for everything Chicago Bulls related because of you guys. I'm out this bitch. Love you guys.